It's been a while since I made a video, and that's because the act of getting a boat ready to go into the water always takes a little bit of more time than you expect, and you're always in a rush in the last few days. But yeah, let's see what's happened. It's a little bit windy out, but I have something to show you. While I was away, my wife repainted the decks of the boat, and I think it looks absolutely brilliant. It's got a bit of water on it now from last night's rain, and we're not quite done yet because we haven't got the non-skid, but yeah, I used to have a boat with bad cracked paint and some red along the side decks, which I hated, and now it's all sparkling and white. So that's something I'm very happy with. The other thing I've done is my anchor roller was basically just bits of plastic floating around, so I bought a new anchor roller. These ones were held in place by, see that one over there, by a sort of a pressed in aluminium pin. So to cut that out, and I've got myself a nice A4 bolt over there. It is stainless, but I'm going to put the sides, I'm going to put these little bits of cutting board between the washer and the aluminium plate, and then I've got some TIFF gel where the bolt itself will touch the aluminium. It will hopefully keep that protected from galvanic corrosion. But yeah, let's get to work. I don't have any pictures of me doing the work, but here you can see what the old one on the right looks like compared to the new one on the left, and I think you can see it was definitely due for a replacement. And there we go, all in place, nicely bolted, and for once it rolls up nicely and smoothly. It's a slightly bigger wheel than we used to have over there, and the reason I've gone for the bigger wheel is I've actually got some the previous one has scraped at the bottom of the boat over there from when I pulled the anchor up when it was actually behind me. So the bigger wheel holds it a little bit further away, and I'll do some fiberglass repairs on the front there as soon as the weather improves. It's a bit of a wet and windy day at the moment. So Candice had a bit of a mishap with our sander, and she sucked some string into the gap here between the sander blade and the rest of the sander, and what it looks like it did is it broke the brake that goes around the sander. So now when you turn it on, all you get is really high speed spinning. And so it doesn't appear to be a random orbital sander at the moment, it just appears to be a a grinder sander or something like that. But one of the plus sides is it's doing really quick work with the grinding I'm going to do. So I've ordered a new part, but I might try and use it lightly as it is at the moment to try and get some rapid work done on sanding my rudders and some portions of under the boat where I've got some flaking bottom paint, which is don't do the worst job. I'll do the rudders now, so and the rest when I suit up later. And as you can see, it did a really rapid job there, and that's very smooth. And on the other side, where I started, actually looks even better. So it might be time to change that sanding blade. That's like almost mirror finish there. And here's the end result of probably about 3 hours work. Nice shiny surface over there, and all shiny too. Same for the other side. It's pretty good. So next up will be some priming and anti-fouling. I left it unpainted last season, and it meant I had to swim under the boat to scrape it every now and then towards the end of the season it got a little bit too cold to swim and scrape, and so that's why I had some barnacles attached to the rudder. The boat itself had very few barnacles, in fact, so the anti-fouling did work. There's one or two. But when they sprayed it with the high pressure washer, it took a whole bunch of flakes off the boat. So I'm going to have to sand at least a little bit and then probably prime and paint. Well, definitely paint, but see if the paint will stick to. I think this is primer underneath that I'm looking at here. But I'll have to sand quite a bit off to get that done. Apparently it's one of the worst jobs in the boatyard, and that's going to be my job next. Wonderful. Yesterday I was trying to sand down some of the bottom paint, and there were a few areas in the bottom paint where it was flaking off, so obviously I get rid of all of those areas. So I was using my little trowel tool to get underneath that, and unfortunately it seems like I got under some of the fiberglass. As you can see, nice big chunks of fiberglass was actually not laminated to the hull properly, so creating more work for myself, I dug away until I got to solid glass, and ended up with this lovely large area that now needs to be fiberglassed whole again. Fairly certain it's not structural, but there is some wood there. I think it's from when these sugar scoops were, the sugar scoops, they were added to my boat, so it's part of the bonding. On the inside of the boat there's some big thick steel plates bolting everything together, so I think that's taking most of the force, but I do want to get this nicely sealed and covered with a few more layers of fiberglass. As you can see, it's working completely upside down, and so the fiberglass is going to want to fall off the whole time as soon as I put it up. So there's a few tricks people have been telling me to do. The first is to work with smaller pieces. I'd love to get one big piece over there, but I will try smaller pieces to start with. The other is to put on a layer of fiberglass and let it get tacky, and then put the dry fiberglass on so it holds. And the third one is to mix some thickener in with the fiberglass, so you make a slight paste which will hopefully have a bit more viscosity and grab things a little bit better. So I might try the paste and let it set a little bit tacky, and then I'll put the fiberglass on and hope it holds. And apparently everyone says wear lots of eye protection because you're going to get covered in drips of epoxy. If you look at these sheets, you can see that it was chopped strand matting, which is not the strongest version of fiberglass, but it does tell you that what was used was definitely polyester. And polyester, when you're building a boat, is great because it's one big piece, so you get a chemical bond. But a secondary bond, like something like this, which is something that's joined to the boat after it's been made, you should rather be using epoxy, because epoxy's got a much stronger mechanical bond than polyester. So I've got my table set up over there. Let's go and have a look what I've got ready. Hopefully got everything I need. Got my template, I've cut out some bits of fiberglass, eye protection, and yeah, I'll have to weigh and mix up my epoxy over there and then get the job done. So yeah, wish me luck. Job I didn't want to do, and now I need to do it because hopefully we're going to be in the water in a couple of weeks' time. Wish me luck. Hi, darling. It's time for the moment of truth. I'm putting this fiberglass upside down.
It's going to be full, love.
Let me. Hope it goes well.
It'll work.
Okay, so it appears like the first layer is stuck. Now it's just a matter of rinse and repeat, and the sun is creeping in onto my phone, so I'm going to turn it off and I'll finish the rest off camera. Ciao. And this is the finished product. I've got 3 layers of 300 gram glass on there, and it's all staying up. I don't see any bubbles, so that's good news. And all that's left to do now is to put on some peel play, so I'm going to do that quickly. Well, that's all for the boatwork for this episode. If you come back to the next one, you'll see when we're actually putting the boat into the water, and there's also some other work to do, and most importantly the work I needed to do to be able to actually dock the boat reliably. So you'll get to see all of that in the next episode. In the meantime, here's Candice's new giant hat. What do you think of that big hat? Definitely is going to work to protect her from the sunlight.